Good morning, Franklin High School, and welcome back to the Saber Roar. I'm Mason.
And I'm Kevin. Today we have stories about our custodial staff here at FHS, boys basketball, a brand new game show, and what exactly net neutrality is.
Franklin's custodial staff does a lot of work behind the scenes to help keep a clean environment here at FHS.
The FHS custodial staff begin their day shift bright and early in order to get an early start on the day's work. From needing to make repairs up on the roof to checking on our fire extinguishers, there's a lot of hard work that goes into maintaining our school.
You get here at 6 a.m. and proceed to open the entire building out, starting from the Saber Center and working your way down the front of the building. You get the entire building open, then I try to hit my email and see what kind of requests have come through, any kind of work requests, or if we have any issues that we need to deal with.
Alongside maintaining our facilities, they're also responsible for setting up many of our after-school events.
We support all that, set up rooms and stuff for them, set up for basketball or football or lacrosse or whatever the sport is that we take care of, swim meets, all that kind of stuff.
All in all, a great amount of work is put in by our custodial staff to keep FHS clean for the benefit of students and staff.
We all work together. We get things done. I think everyone is pleasant and nice, and I really enjoy the atmosphere of working here.
Be sure to thank our custodial staff when you see them.
It seems to me that you could learn a thing or two from them.
What do you mean? Anyway, we've got a new game show produced by the Saber Roar. It pits Gold Block against Gold Block to accomplish challenges in the fastest time. Here are the highlights from our first episode with Miss Dreyer's class versus Miss Klein's class. Do you think you could complete these challenges?
Hello and welcome to the Gold Block Games. I'm your host, Emma Brockman, and we've got a good one for you today, folks. We have two gold blocks facing off against each other, Mrs. Dreyer and Mrs. Klein. The gold block with the least amount of time at the end will win this basket of candy. We'll start on the word go.
3, 2, 1, go.
Be careful not to go too fast. Let's try it. Yeah. We have a winner. Dreyer wins with 49 seconds.
To be honest, I'm not sure if I could do any of these challenges as fast as they did. If your Gold Block is interested in competing for candy and bragging rights, tell your teacher to contact Mr. Clark.
Following the December 14th vote to repeal net neutrality, many people are still wondering what exactly net neutrality is. Ryan is here to explain what net neutrality is and how this vote can affect you in the future.
Net neutrality is a law put into place to keep internet service providers from having too much control. Without it, they're allowed to throttle connections and make internet fast lanes for companies who can pay for them. They can also charge you for more access to sites you use every day, like Facebook, Twitter, or Snapchat.
If net neutrality was taken away, the cable companies would have certain ways to charge for faster access.
The lack of net neutrality also affects us in the school environment.
We built our one-to-one program in Franklin so that all students in grades 5 through 12 would have a device in their hands so that they could get to the information they want to get to when they want to get to it. And the infrastructure that we put in place in the district is there for speed and there so that students can get access to that information quickly. I worry that if net neutrality goes away, we as a school district might have to pay for more access. I would rather the internet stay open and free and not create all these little segments of different types of charging so that people can get to what they want to get to when they want to get to it.
Although the FCC voted to get rid of net neutrality, we can still fight back. Congress can still vote to keep net neutrality in place. If you are interested in helping, visit battleforthenet.com.
So you're telling me I have to pay just to watch Netflix?
Kevin, you already pay for Netflix. The boys varsity basketball team is having a very successful season this year, thanks in large part to all of the players and their hard work.
The boys varsity basketball team has been exceeding expectations this season, sitting with a 19-1 record at this point. In his third season of coaching for this team, Coach Padol has created a new culture. He tells his players to trust the process, and the process is in full effect, as the team is first in conference this year with an 11-1 record. The team is led by a gritty offense and defense, as they average about 75 points per game, allow only 60 points per game, and lead the entire conference in rebounds. All of this success is a direct result from Coach Padol's faith in his players, and the players' trust in Coach Padol.
Be sure to come out and support the boys basketball team in their last few games of the season.
Shirley Chisholm was elected as the first black congresswoman in 1968 and was the first major party African American to run for president.
I am not the candidate of Black America, although I am black and proud.
She served 7 terms in the House of Representatives representing New York State. She fought for educational and social justice throughout her political career. She broke the barriers that black women couldn't have roles in politics and paved the way for modern politicians. James Baldwin is known for his outspoken activism of civil rights for African Americans as well as LGBT Americans through his books Go Tell It on the Mountain and Giovanni's Room. In 1963, he released a collection of essays to express living as an African American, entitled The Fire Next Time. Through this book, he gained his most recognition, and in 1963, he was even featured on the cover of Time magazine.
I'm terrified at the moral apathy, the death of the heart, which is happening in my country. These people have deluded themselves for so long that they really don't think I'm human. I base this on their conduct, not on what they say. And this means that they have become, in themselves, moral monsters.
On December 1st, 1987, James Baldwin passed away, but through his powerful speeches and literature, he should be remembered as a prominent figure in the fight for equal justice. In 2016, the film I Am Not Your Negro spoke the words of his unpublished novel, Remember This House, and focused on the impact Baldwin had with his compelling remarks. Writer of the book Woman, Race, and Class, professor at the University of California, and activist for gender and racial equality, Angela Davis is recognized as a powerful leader in the gain of the civil rights for African Americans. She was part of the Los Angeles Black Panther Party in the 1960s, a group that pushed for empowerment of black Americans in the racist society.
When someone asks me about violence, I just find it incredible, because what it means is that the person who's asking that question has absolutely no idea what black people have gone through.
She was considered a threat to her oppressors because she was highly educated and a passionately outspoken figure for the civil rights movement. A prominent target of the FBI, Angela Davis was once one of the FBI's most wanted for her relationship with the Soledad brothers, who attempted to escape an inmate. In the 1970s, was unjustly sentenced with the involvement of this escape and spent 18 months in prison, but later was acquitted after evidence found she was innocent. Today, at the age of 74, she is known for her work against the prison industrial complex and still holds the spirit of justice in her heart.
That's all the time we have for today, Franklin. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at the Saber Roar and subscribe to us on YouTube.
Today's kindness quote comes from Nelson Mandela. No one is born hating another person. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love, for love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite.
See you next time.